Hi everyone, my name's Lorraine and welcome to See Through the Big C. So this is a conversation all about cancer, and I'll be interviewing different people in the community, whether that's people diagnosed with cancer, healthcare professionals, or people caring for somebody with cancer. And I cannot wait to meet so many amazing people. So here we go. Hi everybody and welcome to this episode of See Through the Big C, and I'm here with somebody that I've had the privilege of knowing for a long time, Laura. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
No, I'm excited to have you here because we've known each other for a long time because of the Lewis Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You were one of our first ever original volunteers.
Yeah, I like to say the first volunteer, but I'm not sure that is actually true.
No, you were.
I'm claiming it anyway.
No, you were the first volunteer that contacted us because you get the work that we're doing in the space of cancer, and I know that it brought you to us because of your experiences with cancer and your mum before she passed away with breast cancer. So just to take it back to the beginning, tell us about your mum.
Oh, my lovely mum. So my mum had breast cancer 3 times before she passed away. She had actually quite bad health in the last 10 years of her life, which was really hard as a family to go through, but she was always one of those people that was very positive and very... didn't let anything sort of break her, or at least didn't show it.
Yeah.
So it was breast cancer that sort of got her in the end, and she was only 56, so really very young, really. And the older I get, the younger I realise she was.
Yeah. No, I suppose you don't think about it when you're
No, not at all. So she was 56, I was 26 at the time, so quite young to lose a parent. And you think at that age you're an adult, but you're not. Really.
You're not. If I think about that, I was a child.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I knew everything at that age, but no, I realised that was quite young. And at the time, it was in 2009, so it was before, we were saying earlier, sort of before social media was a big thing. So very difficult to sort of find out as much information as you can now about cancer itself. And what to expect, but also in the aftermath of grieving. But my mum was a very positive person, went through a lot in her sort of childhood, but really worked hard to sort of break any generational trauma, and created a lovely family and worked really hard, and achieved a lot in a life that was sort of cut short. So she's a great woman.
Amazing. I wish I got to meet her. And you said, I think in the past, that she did her GCSEs like when she was in her 40s because she never got the opportunity to. Which is amazing.
So she was always told, she had quite an abusive dad. He was an alcoholic and used to tell her she was stupid and all this kind of stuff. So she didn't do sort of very well at school, not because she didn't have the talent or the the skill. It's just really the self-belief that was lacking. So as a mum running a busy household, working full-time, she decided that now was the time to do her GCSE maths, and I think we did them at about the same time. Cool. She beat me. She got better.
Well done,
she got a better one. But again, the older I get, the sort of more I realise what an achievement that would have been.
Yeah, it's incredible.
With everything else that would have been on her plate at the time. So that kind of gives you a sense of the spirit of who she was as a person. So very inspirational. Yeah,
sounds very inspirational. And so when your mum was going through cancer treatment, were you going into the hospitals with her? What was your relationship like in that way?
No, do you know what? Now I think back, it was really... I didn't really sort of get involved at all. At the time I was living in Northampton, and they had moved up north to where my sister was living. So they were living in Cheshire. So I couldn't really support her at all because I was working sort of full time as well. So no, I kind of missed all of the. I think I went to a couple of chemo sessions, but I sort of missed all of the hospital element of it. Which I regret. I wish I could have sort of been there to support her more, but then she was very much at the time, no, I'll just go. It was like she was going out for lunch or something with her mates.
She probably didn't want to worry or bother you. Yeah.
It was like, oh no, it's just chemo, and I just think,
what do you mean?
So no, I kind of sort of missed the treatment part. I would go up on weekends. And sort of be the sort of light relief because I was coming in sort of maybe a bit more rested than the rest of the family was, and could be a bit more of a distraction.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the role that I played.
Yeah, which is still an important role to break it up from the day-to-day role. Yeah, I'm sure they appreciated that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my dad, in the end, my dad was her full-time carer, so he gave up. He had to give up work to look after her, which was wild, really, because he was one of those traditional men. Yes. That would go to work and then come home and then leave everything else for my mum to do. So the fact that he learnt how to cook and how to do the washing, and you know, there was one day I heard the Hoover going on.
You're like, what's this?
What's he knocked it over? Like,
what's that doing?
And he was actually hoovering, which was really bizarre. So the dynamic in the family and the sort of household
completely changed.
Definitely sort of span on its head. But he did a fantastic job.
Did he ever talk to you about anything?
Did he talk to me? So I'm sure my dad won't mind me saying he's a big drinker. He likes to drink. So when we would sort of have a drink or two, then he would start to talk about stuff. And we talked a lot after my mum died, so we spent a lot of time in pubs talking about what had happened. But I don't think we really talked enough during we were just all getting through it kind of thing. So there were so many conversations that I think back and I wish I'd had with my dad at the time, but also with my mum. So it wasn't, you didn't really talk about stuff like that at the time either. It just,
and there wasn't really as much like openness about it, or support groups you go to, or conversations that you could have with people.
No,
is that how you felt?
Definitely not. I mean, and I didn't know half as much as I know now about mental health and mental illness and just grief and processing and all. I mean, gosh, I know so much now
that you didn't know at the time.
But none of us had a clue really at the time, and didn't even know where to look or who to ask. Macmillan were good. They sort of supported. They certainly helped my mum sort of claim benefits and bits like that, but it was very much focused on the patient
and not the family.
There was nothing really for the family
who also needed support.
And then throw into that sort of the long distance nature of where I was, it was just
Didn't you feel isolated though on your own?
No, I don't know really. I think I just disassociated. I think honestly that's what I did for the years that she was ill, and for probably a good 5 years after. I just kind of flicked a switch in my brain and got on with my life and didn't sort of process any worry or emotion or anything, which is very unhealthy, by the way. Don't do that.
But like you said, you've learned though. That's
gosh. Like that was, and I think a lot of people do that as a coping mechanism. You just kind of think, well, I've just got to get on, just get through it. And I was very good at doing that, but it wasn't in the long term. That wasn't the healthy thing. It wasn't a healthy option. So now I think if I was sort of going through it now, I'd definitely want to be reaching out for help more and talking about it more and even bringing it up. But I felt awkward
about bringing it up.
People would ask, but they would want to know.
They didn't really want to know the answer.
They didn't. No, they wanted to know the update on the prognosis. So how's your mum? How's her health? That was kind of the conversation. It was never a
how are you?
How are you? Or if it was, in fairness, people did ask, but my response was, I'm fine. I'm fine. Because where do you start?
Because then it opens up a can of worms.
and do people really want to know? I felt like I couldn't really turn around and say, no, everything's really, really shit.
And then let me roll into what's going on.
Life's really hard. So it wasn't really, I didn't really talk about it. But I don't think, like I say, at the time I felt necessarily isolated. I think I just was probably in a bit denial and a bit sort of just sort of blocking everything out. Yeah,
because you said you were 26 when your mum passed away, which is really young to lose a parent. How did you navigate going forward from that? I know that's a big one, but how did you?
Well, I drank a lot, to be honest. I did all the wrong things.
Yeah.
I remember after so basically my mum died on the Tuesday, and it was my sister's wedding on the Thursday.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And then my best friend, sort of the time, my childhood best friend, moved abroad on the Friday. So it was quite an intense week.
Major life week.
There was a lot going on. And because obviously we knew my mum was ill, she'd been very explicit in you must go ahead with the wedding.
Okay,
because they'd obviously booked everything and spent all the money. So it was I probably think, looking back on it, and I hope my sister's not upset when I say this, but probably the wedding was more traumatising than the death.
Especially because
you just had to pretend everything was
okay,
fine. I was at my mum and dad's house when my mum died. So I'd been up for the weekend and she was bad. So I sort of said to my boss, I'm going to stay. I think I might have booked some time off for my sister's wedding, but I was like, I'm staying this week anyway. And then once that week had sort of finished, I went back to work on the Monday.
With no...
Like, now I look back and I think, what were you doing?
Yeah, doing. Did anybody say at your work, why are you here?
No,
which is even worse.
And it was really, I just don't understand why I did that. I went back to work, and then I literally didn't take any time off, didn't take any sickness, just worked, went back. And I remember every morning I'd get up and I'd get ready and I'd just be like absolutely sobbing, because obviously you just like, of course, God, just woken up and remembered how shit everything is. And then as soon as I'd leave the house and I'd close the door,
you could just switch it off.
Stop, which is again very unhealthy. And people did say to me, you should do some counselling or something, and I just thought, well, my mum's dead, like what's the point in talking about it?
What's it going to help?
Like, it's not going to make any difference. So I basically pretended I was okay and used to use alcohol as like a coping mechanism on the weekends and just kind of
try to blank it out, were you?
Well, I think so. I mean, I thought I was okay because I was going to work and I was like functioning and I was doing everything a normal person should do, and I was, and I thought, well, I'm actually okay. But I mean, I was not okay. No,
and what I find is like that even your work didn't... I know things are a lot better now, but the fact that they were like, take some time out.
No, they sent me a bouquet of flowers, which was very nice, and a sympathy card, but no, nobody said like, should you have some time off? Do you need some counselling? It just wasn't
a thing.
It just wasn't a thing at all. I mean, God, if anyone died now, that's it. I'm taking a month off. See you later.
Exactly. Just to like process what's...
Just to
some time for you.
Like I helped with because I was there when my mum died, so I made the phone calls to the family. I helped with the funeral arrangements. And then on top of that, having my sister's wedding to contend with, and the funeral and everything. Like I feel like I did a lot, and actually I didn't have any time to sort of figure it out.
That's a lot, Laura. I didn't realise. At all.
It was. I don't. Oh, and plus that same year, so she died in the August, and then in the December, one of my uni friends died as well, and which was sort of kind of unexpected, really. So it was a hell of a time, and when I look back, I don't know how I got through it. No. I have no idea. I literally have no idea.
Especially like you didn't have any like someone to talk to at like a deeper level about like what was going on in your head as well.
Yeah, no one really. People, don't get me wrong, people were trying to be as helpful as they could be, but all my friends were my age and had never lost a parent, or I mean, really, we'd lost grandparents, but that's kind of to be expected. But no one had any concept of what I was going through. So it was, I just had no one to talk to.
And when did you realise that, like, actually, I do need to do something and I do need to speak to somebody?
Well, many years later. I think it took me at least 5 years to realise that I probably had a bit of a problem. Not a problem, probably had an issue to talk through. And that, I don't really know what spurred it on, but part of it was when I started writing my blog.
Yes, I remember your blog. Yeah.
In the old days of blogging.
I remember that.
That was a really good outlet for me, because it was kind of like an online journal.
Yeah.
And it's one of the first blogs that I wrote was about the time that my mum died.
Yeah.
And then it just all started coming out. And I spoke to Macmillan about whether they wanted me to write anything about my experience for them, and they said yes. And my lovely editor Jasmine was fantastic, and I did lots of blogs for Macmillan, and they ended up putting one on Huffington Post.
Amazing.
It sort of went sort of everywhere. But it was from then that I started processing it.
And realising, because sometimes like the blogs you used to share were quite like really intimate and personal about you and your mum and your family, that probably was the first time people actually really heard about how you were feeling or what you were going through. Yeah,
I mean, and probably the first time I really sort of
realised yourself.
It was just when I was writing, it was like
reading it back,
coming out. But during that time, I had some lovely messages from all over the world, people that had read stuff, God knows how they'd stumbled across things, and sort of said, "Oh, I really resonate with this," and I just thought, "Oh yeah, that's God, no one talks about this bit,"
and they don't, and they don't.
It's kind of once someone dies, well, people talk about sort of the pre-death part, because there's a lot to talk about. There's the treatment, there's the, how are they doing? There's all of the physical things, if they lost their hair. There's just a lot to sort of talk about. And then once the funeral's done, it's like, okay, cool. Like,
did you find out quite quickly?
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
Like that was it.
And then life moves on.
And even to this day, I mean, it's been 16 years, but even to this day, I think people are a little bit hesitant to ask me about it, because they're like, "Oh, is she going to get upset?" Or, is it appropriate? Or if it's people that I meet that have never known my mum, like they feel a bit like, "Oh, I shouldn't ask because I don't know this person." But I'm like, "No, ask."
No, ask. And I think you mentioned that recently in one of your posts. I'd rather you ask because she still mattered.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love it if people are curious about, what was, your first question, what was your mum like? God, I love that. Yeah,
it's good, but it's important.
To talk about it.
Otherwise, you don't want her memory to fade away. Yeah.
No, and I think, once me and my sister are gone, like that's because my nieces never met her, so it's kind of like, and then what happens? It's like I feel like it's lovely to honour people. Yeah, I do. And remember them and to talk about them, and it brings them back. Yeah. And
you don't know who matter, don't they? People do matter, and they shouldn't be forgotten about. And that's why I like that you do continue to share that, and it's important. Post pictures of your mum.
Should be ever so embarrassed.
Really?
She'd be so embarrassed. She'd be like, "Oh God, why are you posting about me?" She was such a like so sort of shy in that way that I think some of it would be embarrassing for her. But oh well, tough shit. Sorry, Mum.
You're helping other people now.
You're an inspiration now.
Exactly. And given how you felt, like the fact that when we met, you offered your time to volunteer to go back onto cancer wards. What made you take that step to want to do that? Which we were grateful for, because you were amazing.
Do you know, I'll be honest, I think I started volunteering as a way of processing some of the grief. So, and volunteering is great to do, and I'd encourage anyone to sort of volunteer for causes, because you are helping the cause, but you're helping yourself as well. There's that
it's a feel good for everybody. Yeah,
it is a feel good for everyone. Yeah. And I just I sort of saw yours as an independent charity, and you were sort of relatively near the start, and I was like, God, that's such a good idea. That's like, why has no one thought of that? That's genius. And then I just thought, well, if they're small and independent, they're going to need help. Yeah. And I'd rather actually give my help to that kind of local charity than to. I mean, all the other big cancer charities are fantastic and need support as well, but I just thought, let me reach out. Yeah. And initially, I didn't really sort of have an idea about what to volunteer doing. Yeah. I just thought, well, whatever you need me to do, whatever it is. And then obviously going on to the wards themselves, because that was something that I didn't really do sort of with my mum. Mm-hmm. But because I'd had, I'd had the experience of it. It didn't faze me. I didn't feel...
Which is quite unusual, because you're really natural at it. You'll just go in, and what I like is you see someone as the person, you don't see him as their cancer diagnosis. So you like kind of strip that all back and like, let me just have a conversation with you. But not many people do that. They don't.
I mean, for some of the people were probably like, who is this very upbeat girl in my hospital room? Like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. But actually, I don't know. I think because I just thought of my mum and like, well, what would she want? How would she want to be approached? Yeah. And, you know, because I saw her very unwell, so I saw everyone with the sort of losing their hair or, you know, looking very gaunt or very different to how they normally would. But actually not everyone was like that in hospital anyway. I just thought, well, it's just a human conversation, isn't it? It's like, and it shouldn't be, I feel like people are just a bit scared or something of like saying the wrong thing. And I just think, well, what if I say the wrong thing? I'm just, oh, sorry. Yeah,
I didn't realise,
But there isn't really, it's just a conversation with people. And everyone was so happy and grateful because it was like such a lovely little unexpected thing to happen. And a lot of people were kind of like, oh, well, are you sure this is for me? And I'm like, yeah, it's for everyone. Yeah. You know? Or actually, if they had been there like a few weeks in a row, they'd be, oh, I had one last week. So? Yeah. You're getting another one. What do you want? What can I interest you in?
No, but it was great. It was. And like, that's what I mean. I think what you do through just sharing your voice, it's helping so many people on so many levels, whether that is somebody in a hospital when you go in there, but also people in the community that probably don't have anybody to speak to, who probably are going through and experiencing what you did, whether they're drinking too much, they're going out too much, they're making decisions that are not the right decisions for them, but they don't know how to cope.
Yeah, I hope
that's what you kind of been like an advocate for that.
Oh God,
no, I would say so. Yeah, but in a good way. Yeah,
that feels like a responsibility. Yeah. But I hope along the way, and I do think it's true because of the messages that I've had from people that I don't know and people that I do know. I hope that I've been helpful, and that some of the stuff that I talk about is relatable and that people have learnt some bits and pieces. Yeah. I know certainly I would have appreciated somebody telling me the truth without any bullshit. Like,
no, that's true.
Because at the time people just kept telling me, oh, time's a healer and all of that. It's not, by the way. Yeah. Just spoiler alert, it's not. But time helps you manage better. Yeah. That's the difference. You don't feel better about it.
And I think that's something that I saw in your post that I probably didn't really appreciate. People might think, oh, it's 16 years on, like, why are you still talking? No, but seriously, though, but what I liked is that you said, actually, no, it still hurts as much.
I remember one of my first jobs. I remember one of the ladies there had lost her mum. I can't remember what to, but she said to me, oh, it's 20 years today. I just remember thinking, oh God, that's such a long time. And one of the other colleagues was just like, why aren't you over it then? And I just thought,
really?
Okay.
Don't hold back.
How we roll. Yeah. But yeah, and so I am a bit conscious of that because I'm just like, oh God, I don't want people to think, oh, she's going on about a dead mum again. Like, oh, here she goes. Yeah. But actually, like, I think it's important to like talk about the stages of grief. Yeah. Because like, you don't just...
What would you say were the stages for you?
Well, I mean, I don't really believe in all these like there's
circles and
I was just whatever.
Yeah. But how do you feel like? Would you say?
I just feel like it's a spectrum of emotions, and that you can have many stages at the same time. Yeah. So I know I didn't realise it, but I felt angry for a long time. Okay. But I didn't actually realise that I was angry about it. Yeah. I thought, I don't know what I thought. But I was angry because it was coming out in misdirected anger. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd be angry about stuff that was really little and just... But actually, that wasn't the thing that's annoyed me. It's the fact that how unfair it is that my mum, who's a good person, is dead. And there's people walking around that are horrible.
Totally.
So I think it's definitely a spectrum of emotions that you kind of weave in and out of different... stages, and it can be ages where I feel really good and sort of positive and sort of over it, if that's what you want to describe it as. But then something will happen. I'll see something, or I'll hear something, or I'll smell something, and I'll just think, oh,
and it hits you.
That's a bit painful. So I think it's always with you, and you always carry it, but you just, like I say, you manage it better. And now I've got healthier coping strategies.
Yes. No, you're doing amazing. You're doing incredible.
So I don't drink anymore. So I'm one of those smug sober people. But no, I mean, I had got a lot better with, in your 20s, you overindulge quite a lot anyway. But yeah, I can recognise now
when things are about to happen,
to feel a bit like impacted. Yeah. And then I can do stuff that helps. But I mean, I just didn't. I'm, in fairness to my 26-year-old.
Yeah, don't be harsh to your 26.
I didn't have the tools or the knowledge, and I did the best I could do. So I think younger me did a good job.
You navigated your way through it to get to where you are now.
God knows how, but nothing really bad happened. So
you did. But you've been, like you said, working on your mental health as well, and I know you do a lot of work with like charities like Mind.
Yeah.
How has that really helped you taking yourself on that journey to look at and recognise your own mental health that needed to be, you need to look after yourself too? Yeah,
like I didn't know anything about mental health or mental illness or anything back at that point. And I've been lucky enough to work in a couple of jobs that have helped me with that. So one of the sort of most useful jobs was where I was supporting benefit claimants to sort of make steps towards work, and I had a caseload of people who were on health related benefits. So it could be anything from fibromyalgia to cancer. But with all of them, they had a secondary mental health issue because of their physical health. So I did a lot. I sort of learned a lot during that job about what to do and how to cope and how to manage for other people. And then I was like, I should probably take my own advice. And probably do some of this stuff too. I've learnt what works for me over the years, and I've had talking therapy, which I can't speak highly enough about. Yeah, which I know you've actually shared about. Oh yeah, I mean, geez, if you can, and it's quite a fight to get it on the NHS. To be honest, it was, and because I presented so well, because it makes it harder to get. I was very good at covering up any sort of problem. But organisations like Northamptonshire Mind offer counselling at £40 a session, which is very sort of reasonable compared to, and it's going to support charity, so it's kind of the double whammy of it. But yeah, if you can get talking therapy, I can't say enough about. No, that's amazing. It was really, and it does take a little while to get the right person. So I know people have had experiences and they're like, counselling's not for me. Sometimes it's just the person. You have to connect. You have to sort of connect, and then you have to be quite honest, which is difficult, and you have to approach it at the right time for you, because it does get worse before it gets better. Because obviously you're actually dealing with stuff. So, it's all about timing as well. Like, I don't think I could have done it right at the start, but, the times I've done it later on has been really helpful. So, yeah, definitely do that. And where would you say, Laura is now? I know following you're really working on your physical health, mental health. You seem in a really good place, considering that even though you still openly share about your grief journey, you've put yourself into, and I've known you for 9 years now, and I can see the difference from when I met you 9 years ago to now. And now knowing what you've just said to me today, I can see where you were then. You were struggling, but I didn't fully appreciate it. No, well, I mean, I don't think because you did share it as well, and no, I didn't. We didn't ask because you looked like you were coping so well. Exactly. Where am I now? I think I'm in a really good, happy, healthy place. No, you've seen it. Which is always makes me slightly uneasy, because then I'm like, well, what's coming around the corner? No, all positive vibes. So no, I'm sort of lucky in that I've had exposure to different sort of ways of learning about mental health. I do yoga now. I'm one of those middle-aged cliches. I am with Michelle, who's Ultra Life. She's amazing. Plug. But yeah, that's really helped sort of send to me. I do that twice a week, and I've stopped drinking alcohol, which was like a whole new world. Yeah, incredible. God, actually, 26-year-old me would hate 22-year-old me. She'd be like, oh, God, you're such a loser. But actually... It's an incredible achievement. It just feels like the right thing to do at this point in life, and everything that I'm doing, I realise now is helpful and positive and healthy, and actually I see the difference because I feel like
you can feel the difference.
I feel calmer. My anxiety is reduced.
That's great.
I feel sort of like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm hitting perimenopause now, so that is a whole other ball game.
We'll have to navigate that.
That's a whole other podcast episode. But no, I think, just sort of clarity of like who I am and where my sort of place in the world, and realising that the really important things in life are the stuff that you, like the stuff you do. Yeah. And the stuff that we can all do in the community to support each other. And
that's what you've always been, like that community, like you're driving different things, getting people to take action.
Yeah. I haven't always, to be fair, since I've met, since we've met each other, I've been like that. But before I wasn't really interested.
Oh, I didn't? No, okay.
No, I wasn't really like a community. I was just like, well, I'm here on my own, doing my own thing. Yeah. But I think it is the more you look around and see how much we all impact each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Negatively and positively. I mean, we can see that just from the state of
the world we're in.
But there's power in remembering that we can actually help each other and support each other, and that as much as we're always told that we're powerless, we're not. I mean, if we just look at the Lewis Foundation and what you've done over the last 8 years?
9 years.
9 years, oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Over that time, the amount of people that you've met, the conversations, the impact, it's almost immeasurable, really, because it's fantastic. So, I do think that even if you haven't got a lot of time, money, resource, I mean, who does? Yeah. If there's one thing you can do, just a little thing every week, even if it's liking and sharing some social media posts. Yeah,
it makes a difference, right?
It does.
It makes an impact.
It does, and I think if we can fight against the narrative that is looking to sort of pull us away from each other, that's got to be a good thing. Yeah,
and that's what you're doing, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
We're all trying.
Yeah, shake up society.
Changing the world.
I was going to say, to kind of like start to round up, what would be a message that you would share to somebody who has maybe lost a loved one, whether that's like a parent or a family member or a friend, about how they navigate that stage once that person has passed away? I know you've openly shared how you were, but what would that message be to somebody in that position?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot, so I'll try and keep it short. Yeah. I think it would be to sort of not underestimate the time and energy that it's taking you just to get through each day. And that, any small achievement, even getting out of bed, or not, if that's what you feel like doing that day, just don't underestimate it. Your body and your mind are going through so much stuff that even you probably can't comprehend and process at that time. So if you're feeling tired and demotivated and obviously shitty, well, that's completely normal. And there's a lot of mixed emotions that come with losing a person. So, you might have had a complex relationship with them. There might be family dynamics or other stuff at play. Like it's incredibly complicated. It's not just one thing of somebody's died and they're not there anymore. Yeah. It's 1,000 things all at once. So don't underestimate it and be kind to yourself as much as you can. I felt a lot of regret initially when my mum died, because I was like, I should have done this, or I could have done that, or I should have said that, or that's all shit, that's bollocks. Throw that at the guilt. You've got to let go of the guilt, because you can only do what you've got the tools for at the time. You can't do any more than that. So, but that will be part of the process. And reach out as much as you can. There's loads of different resources online. the world is a much more accessible place in that way.
Yeah, which we didn't have before. Yeah, which
can be overwhelming because you don't know where to start. But even if you start with like the basics of just looking after yourself, so remembering to eat, remembering to drink some water, remembering to get some daylight. Even I know it sounds sort of stupid and a little bit patronising, and I hope that's not what I'm.
No, because sometimes people forget to look after themselves.
Those basics go out the window, don't they? You just don't think about it. And on top of that, I know a lot of people have other caring responsibilities. Luckily, I didn't at the time, so I just really had to look after myself. But yeah, so sort of think about that. Reach out and don't just say you're fine.
Because you're not. Because you're not fine.
You're not fine, and that's okay to not be fine. And share with people when they actually ask you. It's all right to be like, yeah, things are shit.
Yeah,
I'm struggling.
Help me.
Yeah,
help me, please.
And take some time off work.
Yeah, make sure you take some. And if you're struggling at work, tell your employer.
Take some holiday or something. I don't know, but yeah, take some time off. Jesus, have a day off.
I don't know how you.
What's wrong with me? I don't know what I was thinking. So yeah, but you just do your best really. And whilst time isn't a healer, it does get easier to manage. Things will become lighter and easier and brighter. Yeah. It's just learning to live in a new way. Yeah.
I think that's something that would be really helpful for anybody that's listening who may be in that position. But I think if anybody is listening, would like to follow you, come on, share your details.
Yeah, so
honestly, yours is up there with my favourite accounts. But it's good. I like it. No, please share.
Just I forget that people actually see the stuff that I put on the internet. So yeah, I'm on Instagram mainly. It's character building. The reason that is my Instagram handle is because when anything bad happened in my life, my mum used to say to me, "Don't worry, Laura, it's character building."
Yeah, I remember you said that to me.
And it used to really wind me up at the time because I'd be like, "You're not giving me the answer." But now I'm just like, it's actually a really good piece of advice. So it's character building on Instagram. Come and look at the absolute ridiculous shit I put on the internet. And if you've got any questions, DM me. I'm happy to help.
No, but I like it because you're just open and honest. And I think one of the reasons I reached out to you, other than the fact that I know you're such a great person that will go out and you'll speak to anybody and help anybody, is the fact that you still openly share about your mum and you openly talk about grief. And I think it's something that people don't talk about enough. And you're probably one of the few people I do see doing it in the work that we're doing in the space of cancer care. So the message you said is really important, because everybody always talks about, like you said, the cancer, the journey, and once the person's died, then we've moved on. Yeah. And it shouldn't be that way. And I've seen people that are openly struggling for years afterwards. So I know the words that you've said will help people.
I hope so.
They really will.
I hope so. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I don't have all the answers for everything. So there might be things in this that you don't resonate with, and that's cool too. But just sort of, if you try lots of different things, you'll find your path. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for being a part of it.
Oh no, thank you, and I honestly thank you for all the work you've done over the years. You're a constant inspiration to me, so thank you.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you for listening to the See Through the Big C podcast. I hope you took a lot of value from the stories that is shared, and that it hopes to either educate, motivate, or inspire you to take action. So thank you for listening.